Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. How are you? Hope all is well. My apologies. I'm 15 minutes behind because I really wanted to give a full live with the video clips and everything else I wanted to show. So I wanted to make sure it was done correctly and I had everything set up. So my apologies. Hey Nene, what's up, girl? My one of my OG crew members. So it is the WTF Weekly, and we're gonna get into a couple of things in regards to this week. Again, 2024. I don't know if I should say it hasn't disappointed. Like it's I don't know if I should say that because some of these things are a disappointment, but it's definitely given us something to talk about. So we're going to get into it because I have a lot to discuss. So first things first, we have literally had two shootings in a matter of 3 days. Okay. Literally on February 11th, which was Sunday, that was Super Bowl day, okay? And it was in between church services at Joel Osteen's church, the Lakewood Church in Houston. A 36-year-old woman, her name is, hopefully I'm saying it right, Janice Marino, entered the Lakewood Church with her 7-year-old son. Okay. With her 7-year-old son, she had on a trench coat, which is automatically a red flag because, from my understanding, it was pretty hot that day in Houston. She had on a trench coat and she took out that hammer and started shooting in the church. She ended up unalived. Her bringing in her child, in my opinion, it seemed like it was an unalived mission for both, in my opinion. But unfortunately, her child ended up getting hit. They don't know if it was by her or the people who were actually, firing back at her. But that baby ended up getting shot in the head and is in critical condition. Okay. Now, they did do an update today saying that a portion of his frontal lobe is pretty much had to be removed. And he's had 2 surgeries in the last 24 hours, and he was in cardiac arrest multiple times. This baby has gone through so much. Here's my thing. I know that we still have psychiatric hospitals around. I'm trying to figure out now what are the qualifications to be admitted into those places. Does it require you to have money? What is it that you actually need? Because more and more, we're just seeing that people who literally have severe mental illnesses are just running rampant and free. Now, apparently, the former mother-in-law of this lady said they have literally been saying for years she doesn't need to buy any, hammers. That she definitely, they allegedly she was a schizophrenic. She was prone to a lot of things, and she had a long track record of criminal legal issues. And yet she was still able to buy what she was able to buy and did what she did. I think we definitely need to reevaluate what's going on with our psychiatric hospitals. And does it require you to have money or insurance, or just your diagnosis alone should be able to admit you in there? Because at this point, it's just too much. It's too much happening. And it's really that baby. I'm hoping that baby is going to have somewhat of a productive life. Just what happened, because he's old enough to remember what's going on, that is going to be traumatic in itself. And then now you have to go through all of these surgeries and your frontal lobe is gone. Prayers to him, prayers to, his family that's going to have to take care of him, because this is going to be a long process for him in regards to this. Why would they not try to get custody of that poor baby? Apparently, based on my research, they've been trying. they've been trying. They have been trying. They have been warning. They have apparently been doing all of that. And they weren't getting the response. That's what they're claiming. Hey, Yuli, that's what they're claiming. So, the actual mother-in-law, former mother-in-law, said this is another situation where the system has failed people, because they said they've been doing this and reporting it multiple times. So yeah, and then this happened, and apparently in her home they found so much stuff, like so much stuff. So yeah, this is another situation where the system, I guess, apparently did fail, because she was still able to purchase those things even though she had the mental illness that she had. But the crazy part about it is that not even, like, literally 3 days later, this was February 11th. Now this happened yesterday, February 14th, on Valentine's Day. And I don't know if you guys know y'all history, but you know the Chicago St. Valentine's Day massacre. I don't know why that came in my head, when that happened. Hey, DeMarcus, what's up? I don't know why it came in my head, because I was like, really? Valentine's Day of all days? You see all of this red. I automatically thought that. But literally, this is supposed to be a celebration. Kansas City Chiefs won, and apparently it was going well. And they're thinking some dispute happened where all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. These people are having a good time. Next thing you know, people are running like crazy. Okay? Running like crazy. All right. Now, apparently 22 people were injured. One actually unalive, 22 total, and there were 11 children that were injured in the 22, from my understanding. And apparently it started with a dispute. When I tell you this is ridiculous, like, you can't even go to parades anymore. I don't think this has ever happened, as far as like, especially like a championship parade. But you know how, well, at least when we were younger, when I was younger, how you used to look forward for like parades, or used to be in a parade, like the Macy's Day Parade and stuff like that. Now it's almost to the point where it's like, you kind of scared to go or take your kids, because you just don't ever know what's going to happen. It's definitely just, and within 3 days of each other. If y'all, and when I tell you this is some spiritual, dark, demonic stuff, I don't know what is. It literally, within 3 days of each other, this happens. This is insane. This is insane. Like, our country, and I know there's people probably listening from other countries, but I got to speak on my country. Our country is turning into shit. This is ridiculous. People can't even enjoy their hometown team winning the Super Bowl without all hell breaking loose. Child, I don't like Valentine's Day for me, for a country that's all about God, and Valentine's Day was allegedly a pagan holiday. I just say blasphemy much. But the reason why I said this happened on Valentine's Day, look up Valentine's Day in Chicago. Look it up. I believe, if I can remember my history, I want to say it was like 29 or 30, February 14th, 1929 or 30. My head immediately went there, because I was like, Valentine's Day of all places. Hey, Jessica. So yeah, so definitely, and make sure you hit the like button on the way in. But prayers to these babies and these people. That has to be a scary situation. I cannot imagine. And then you probably have people who maybe couldn't run. People, have disabilities, couldn't run. You had older people. Like, that had to be a scary situation. And I'm sure it traumatized a lot of people. And this was supposed to be a moment that was huge for the city, and then winning a Super Bowl. It's ridiculous. But with that being said, I just wanted to touch on those things, because I just couldn't believe that they happened within 3 days of each other. And again, we're just in the middle of February. Let me keep reminding y'all, we're just in the middle of February. Next, Shannon Shay Sharp. Hey, Teef, what's up? Shannon Shay Sharp. Shannon, okay, so Shannon honestly is on another planet as far as his YouTube success is concerned, okay? And even I, as a starter YouTube channel, mind you guys, I have not had my YouTube channel for even a year yet. Okay. I have not had it for a year yet. I have already experienced the trolls, the people who just want to make negative comments, the ignorant fools being disrespectful, wanting to say something to get some type of comeback. And sometimes I'm in that mode where I can say, today I got time, cuz. And I think Shannon was on some today I got time, cuz, because I don't think he was prepared for all of this nonsense. I just don't think he was. And this is why I think he wasn't. When people like Shannon, he has a very impressive resume, even before YouTube. I myself personally feel like I have a good resume on my belt behind me when it comes to work and things that I've accomplished. We damn sure know Shannon has that, okay? Super Bowls, the man has been very successful. And I think when you're successful and when you're secure within yourself, you don't think that something as simple as creating a YouTube page where anybody can create one, everybody can eat type of thing, you don't think that it would literally cause this much drama over something that you have control over, that you can create, and you can focus on just continuing to create and do the things that you want to do on your channel to help it grow. I don't think he was prepared for it. Hell, I wasn't even prepared for it. If I can just be quite honest, I didn't realize how crazy and cutthroat it is on a free damn platform. This is a free platform. So I think he didn't think he was going to get this type of drama. And I think he was very naive, especially with successful people that are coming from him. I don't think he thought, why would successful people hate on him? He probably thought it was going to be people who are like low vibrational, bottom of the barrel type of people who was going to hate on him. But he literally has people who have their own resume hating. Well, guess what, Shannon? When those type of mofos are insecure, they are going to hate on you. Because ever since Shannon's Cat Williams interview, that man has been called gay. He's been called messy. And with the recent situation with Mike Epps got on a platform and he was doing a comedy skit. He called him Medea. And it's just so funny to me that none of these names were said. He wasn't called gay. He wasn't called messy. He wasn't called a drag queen. He wasn't called any of that stuff until the Cat Williams interview. Now, when Mike Epps came for him immediately, I honestly was like, he's just trying to get his name in the mix. And that's what was happening with a lot of people. They were just trying to get their names in the mix. They wanted to be attached to that interview in some kind of way so they can get their own buzz. That's what was going on. So when he did that, I was like, okay, like he's just trying to make himself relevant. And it's interesting that a lot of these people who are coming for Shannon Sharpe now were the same people who was pro him when he got into it with Skip Bayless. I don't know if you guys know, but he did have a sports show with Skip Bayless, and him and Skip Bayless got into it and he went his separate way. But now those people who were supporting him, now that he has his own platform and it has literally blown the hell up, now all of a sudden these same people are hating on his ass. Hey, Nivea love, what's going on? So with the drama with Mike Epps, I was like, he's just trying to get attention, right? Now, the problem is that he said that Shannon DM'd him and pretty much invited him on Club Shay, and he was like, nah, Medea, I don't think so. But the reason why Shannon got mad was that he was just like, you lying on me. I never reached out to you when it came to you coming on Club Shay. You were coming for me trying to get on Club Shay, but I never reached out to you. So, Shannon talking to Ocho Cinco, he was like, today I got time, because I'm tired of all of this hate, and I'm going to let y'all know I ain't no punk ass bitch. That's pretty much what it was. And I get it. We're human. And at a certain point, you get tired and you be ready to clap back at people who constantly coming for you. Then Corey Holcomb gets involved and he wants his name involved in a situation. And then Corey Holcomb, in his normal fashion, tries to imply that maybe Shannon likes men or women. And I just feel like that is a lazy comeback at this point. Why does every man who's successful that you may have an issue with or whatever the case may be, why is it always the go-to to call him gay? Like, I just think like we're in 2024. Like, people need to grow the hell up. All right. But now I'll say this though. I think this may be the reason why all of a sudden people are saying something. But I have two issues with this. Now, one, this is apparently his stylist. Now, allegedly, now is his former stylist. And I don't know if you guys remember that scandal with this guy. I think he calls himself Hollywood. He used to be the assistant, quote unquote, I believe, to Kerry Rhodes, who was another athlete. And I guess when him and Kerry Rhodes parted ways for whatever reason, he started acting like he was throwing Kerry Rhodes under the bus about what their real relationship was, allegedly. So this guy was known for being messy and really trying to make it seem like he was outing people who, at one point, he was on Kerry Rhodes' payroll, allegedly. And then now Shannon Sharpe is being seen with him. We got to get to the point where just because a man who is a straight man may have a gay man for a stylist, why in the hell does that mean that he's gay? Or if his stylist is with him, at a game, why does that automatically mean that he's gay? But do I understand why people now all of a sudden are saying this because of this guy who is known for being messy? I get it. But it makes me wonder how long he's been his stylist and why all of a sudden the cat interview comes out. Now they're really focused on this situation and what it possibly could or could not be. But I do feel now apparently Shannon and Mike Epps finally made amends. And they said they're gonna talk it out like men. But at one point, Shannon was like, "I'm gonna see you in India, at the All-Star game in Indianapolis. I'm gonna see you, and let's see if you could talk all of that mess then." And Mike Epps was like, "I'm from here, so if you trying to try something, like I'm from here." But I was like, "Y'all damn too old, geriatric beef old, to sit up there and be going back and forth like this." I understand his frustrations. I get it. But I feel like people are mad because Shannon Sharpe out of nowhere, of course, blew up. This man, I don't think has even been on YouTube for 3 years yet, or maybe it's just reached 3 years. And people who have been on here for longer hasn't even gotten close to his success. They haven't even gotten a fourth of his success. But my thing is, and they think that he's not qualified for interviews. He's not a journalist, they say he's country and all of this stuff. My thing is this: if people focus on their own damn goals and focus on their own channels or focus on their own stuff, they shouldn't be concerned about Shannon. It's his time, period. And from what I hear, he's never been known as this trifling guy. What up, Jay? I've never heard of him being this trifling guy doing shady stuff to bring people down. From my understanding, he's been overall just a good guy, an excellent team member. It's like literally it just shows you how much people are just so hateful because they want what you have. And instead of them saying, "Congratulations, it's your time," especially good people. I can see if he was an evil asshole doing a lot of trifling stuff to bring people down. Those people, we always look and say, "Why are you getting so much? Because you don't deserve it." But I've never heard anything bad about him. What I do think is this, though. I think that Shannon really, because of the position he's in, mind you, he's about to be at 3 million followers. He shouldn't respond to these people anymore because all he's doing is falling into their trap. Because at this point, to be attached to Shannon or Club Shay is to get numbers and potentially get money. So he truly, and I know it's hard because hell, it's hard for me. It's hard for me. It can get hard because sometimes people truly be trying you just to come onto your platform just to try you. But I ain't at almost 3 million followers. Okay. I'm not. Shannon Sharpe is. He truly has a brand on top of a brand. You mentioning this people, in my opinion, in the back of their minds, they was like, ching, like, we got what we wanted. We got a response from Shannon Sharpe. So now I can probably book more shows or I can get more views because I'm talking about Shannon Sharpe. Don't give him the attention. Don't give him the attention. Because at the end of the day, I'm not saying Mike Epps and Corey Holcomb are trifling, but in general, trifling trolls a lot of times will do anything they can to be able to get money off of you, to be able to get feed off of you. Oh, hell no. No. I had to stop what I was saying when I saw that. No. I don't know, y'all. What y'all think about what DeMarcus just said? No. I could see her husband going on Club Shay though. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Her, no. I don't think I could see it. I don't even think that would be a good combination. But with that being said, he truly has to learn. But I don't know if Shannon Sharpe is a believer in God, but I think God is preparing him for something because he's truly created a platform where people can speak their truth without interruption. He's just giving people that opportunity to speak their mind, and he's being able to get paid for it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. Oh, you said you can't teach. I can't. You know, she's never been really good with interviews, so I can't see her doing it. Now, Jay-Z, yeah. Jay-Z, yeah. But Jay-Z is not going to tell that much either. So if his platform is really about letting it all out and speaking your truth up and down, I couldn't see him doing it either because he's kind of guarded in his interviews. He's only going to talk about what he wants to talk about. So, you know, but yeah, but definitely, but keep doing you, Shannon Sharpe. Hell, he probably would never know or hear about my page, but it's just amazing how people just want either a reaction. They want to take your energy. They want to take your time. They want to be able to feed off of you. And it's a sad situation. This man has never been problematic. Now he hits Cat Williams interview, and I think he has probably the highest interview maybe on YouTube at this point. Now everybody got something to say about freaking Shannon Sharpe. It don't make no damn sense. But with that being said, you know, trifling people will always be trifling. And speaking of trifling, so let's continue with the Monique situation. Now, y'all know sometimes I can have a pretty good memory at my age. And one thing about it is, in the golden years of reality TV, there are definitely some highlight moments that I will always remember. So before we get into this, I'm going to actually play a couple of things. One, it's not going to have sound because I don't want any copyright issues. Now, all of this is fair use, but there's one I definitely don't want a copyright issue on. But I'm going to talk you through it to see if some of y'all actually remember this, because I think people a long time ago was telling us about Monique and we weren't listening because a lot of us was just like, oh, like Monique, you know, she's the big girl representing the big girls in the big world. Yeah, but do y'all remember this? To it like she's about to do something. Her mom was like, hell to the no, not my child. So interesting, she did that. Now, she said she was full of shit. Now, yes, I will agree, DeMarcus, on what you said. Shay and a 50 Cent would be fire because 50 Cent ain't afraid to say a damn thing. So you are absolutely right on that. You are absolutely right that a Shay and 50 Cent would definitely be good. Yes. Boots. Yes. Why was I just watching this today? See, great minds think alike, Nivea girl. Pick a wall, Boots. Okay, so practice what you preach, Monique. Boots was disrespectful, but she wasn't wrong. So with that being said, y'all remember that. For those who remember the golden years, y'all remember when Boost was like, you full of shit. So then check this out. Because, and shout out to Tap In Podcast. They have an actual podcast on YouTube. Doing my research, I found this. So let's listen in, shall we?
You know, and that's really kind of how I ended up getting into that, because I was in Atlanta performing at the Uptown. Sydney was there that night. And I'm just up really just kind of jonesing on some of the girls that were on the show with me. And then I just threw her in the mix. Like, I'm just you roasting people.
Yeah.
Right? And so, somebody called her and said, I'm on stage talking about it. And I'm like, wait, no, it won't like that. Like, and it really wasn't like that. I was just up, just doing some material.
Just trying
to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I haven't said, I did a whole show with her. I'm talking about Flavor Flav, but I haven't said anything about Charm School. So, like, let me try some Charm School stuff. And, throwing that out there. And it just got misconstrued.
But here's the good and the bad thing.
Now, really quick. She said Sydney was there. And I'm trying to figure out if she's talking about Sydney as in daddy or another Sydney. Did y'all hear what she said? Sydney was there. And when I said Sydney, I was like, Sydney who? Not daddy. But I just want to continue. So let me continue.
About that little skirmish with Monique. Because you on the list of people like Oprah Winfrey, D.L. Hewley, Steve Harvey, Lee Daniels,
the whole
Tyler
industry.
Perry.
The whole industry.
You on that list of people who got into a little skirmish with Monique.
Yeah.
And Courtney Jackson. you in that list of people.
Right. I mean,
did Monique ever come in and talk to you, or
she
just
called me?
She called you?
She called me.
What did she say?
Did. She called me. She said, what did you say in Atlanta? And I was just like, and I'm really not even thinking. Like, I'm like, Atlanta? I said, well, we was just in Atlanta. And then she said, no, what did you say at the club? And I go, oh, yeah, well, I mean, I got the high-pitched voice. Everything. And I'm thinking like, what? I mean, I was doing some material about Charm School, and I did a joke about you, and then she was like, what was the joke? And I'm like, and it really wasn't even a joke. I was really just jonesing and, you know what I mean? And just saying some stuff. And then she was just like, well, comedians don't talk about other comedians on stage.
Pause. Now, for those who don't remember who this is Goldie. Goldie was also on Flavor of Love and Charm School. So pretty much what she is saying is she's a comedian and she was jonesing on, Charm School girls, including Monique. And Monique pretty much didn't like what she said and literally said comedians don't go on stage and talk about other comedians. Is that right, Monique? Because you've done that. D.L. Hughley. So is that a rule in comedy? Because if that's a rule in comedy, you broke that rule.
And, that's not what we do. And I was just like, okay. But it wasn't nothing malicious. I wasn't trying to come for you for real. I'm just trying to figure out some funny on stage type thing. Yeah, but she really took it personal. And it really broke my heart because I didn't want that to have happened with somebody like a Monique. Like, no, my bad.
Yeah. And she didn't try to coach you through that, or she was just like,
nah.
She was like, Mom, don't talk about me on stage.
It was that. They was like that, yeah. Because, she was just like, I don't feel comfortable with you anymore. I was like,
what you mean? What you mean comfortable? What you mean? Was she touring with you, or you touring with her?
That was kind of on the table. Like, that was being discussed. Like, she was gonna take me on the road or whatever and do some dates, but we never did any dates or nothing like that.
Because of that Atlanta situation.
I don't think that it was just because of that. I just think it may have been a you're not ready kind of thing.
Interesting that she wasn't ready once she sat up there and I guess did a joke about Monique. Monique seems like the type, and we're seeing more and more that she has different rules that apply to herself and different rules that apply to other people. Meaning, I, as Monique, can do it, but you cannot. So pretty much Goldie is just breaking down what happened and how she was just clowning about Charm School and Monique pretty much said, you was talking about me. You comedians don't talk about other comedians. And at this point, she don't feel comfortable with her and pretty much just outs her. Okay. So I just wanted to give a basis on this first because I was just like, I had to think about it. I said, I remember when Boots came at her 10 toes down and said, you full of shit. And Monique tried to step up to her and Boots' mama checked her. But literally, I was just like, wait a minute now. Some of these people was giving us signs back in the day, but we was looking at Miss the Parkers and Queens of Comedy, and we weren't picking up on it. But with that being said, so of course we had Monique and Sydney, who decided to pretty much air out Shalon, Monique's oldest son, and his business in regards to, I guess, allegedly his mental health, and started talking about all the monetary things that they've done for him. And Shalon responded. And interesting enough, some of the stuff that he said was some of the things that I said 2 days ago. But let's look at it for those. I don't know if everybody has seen it, but I'm going to play it at least a little bit so we can just get a perspective on what's going on, okay?
Straight to it. Hi, I'm Shalon. So I find it unique that my video was in response to my mother and not her husband, but yet he still had the most to say, which isn't uncommon. I also find it unfortunate that my mother does not seem to speak on her own. The only two worlds that I know where daddy is used is for children speaking with their fathers and women acknowledging their pimps. Her husband starts
Didn't I say pimp yesterday? Okay, let me continue.
Off by literally doing the very thing that I said that they would do, which honestly kind of made me feel as though their response was ironic because they validate my original video. Either A, she has some newfound moment of clarity, or B, she retreats back to daddy. In her retreat back to him, though, he does not acknowledge what I did say, but instead begins to create a new narrative of things that I did not say, which negates the effects of a response video. The two of you essentially created a new video rather than actually respond to what was actually said. You also brought up my father. My father, though, is not doing interviews talking about me. In quick regards to the three sons comment, under the context in which your husband was speaking, by your rationale, Ma, he should have easily had no problem saying 4 sons, especially since you say he knew me before I knew me. The two of you can sometimes come off as seekers of weak levels of empathy from others while at the same time sidestepping any accountability that one may need to take to attempt to address what I said to another man while also trying to make your wife victim number 1 has nothing to do with you. My father did not need you to speak for him. You're her daddy, not his. My mother has been speaking on our relationship for years. So to imply that only one side of the story was told when there are several articles and interviews throughout the internet discussing my strained relationship with her, filled with quotes from your wife speaking directly about me while also providing vague context and downplaying the impact of an uninterested mother. I am 33 years old and have had ample opportunity to go to the media and tell some BS story for a BS amount of money, but instead I am on TikTok expressing my feelings for free. If the two of them were paying attention, I literally explained in my first video why I am responding using TikTok. And I should not have to repeat myself. My mother also states there are some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that were saying, oh, I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we're going to watch this play out. First of all, who the hell is we if it ain't you and I reconciling our relationship? Second of all, it's power in a word. Nobody is playing, but I can understand why you would use that word specifically. As you stated in the clip Shay interview, you had the mentality of a 15-year-old child. You required a man to raise you, and you were acting like a little girl. These are your words. It doesn't matter what context I have them in. This is how you thought of yourself as a grown adult who was someone's mother. Last time I checked, Monique fans, a 15-year-old grown adult who acts like a child but is in search of their daddy, they don't typically make efficient parents. But hey, I could be wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
On a more serious note, to sit there and allow your daddy to address my mental health in a weak attempt to pass my response off as a moment is disturbing and insulting to those of us who do have mental health issues. The way I presented myself was no different than my mother and her daddy presented themselves when addressing D.L. Hughley. And her precious sweet babies ate it up. D.L. is wrong because he's so loud. Mo and daddy are right because they're so calm. But I, for some reason, don't get the same energy. To simply try to call me crazy is dismissive and cowardice. Attacking somebody's mental status is a clear sign that you have zero to stand on. Furthermore, what kind of person still has a text message from their wife's son that is over 2 years old, still in their phone, saved just for the purpose of re-showing it to him? What I specifically remember about that message is that at the end of it, you said something along the lines of, "If you don't respond, I understand." I could care less about what your message was about, but for you to say in the message, "If you don't respond, I understand," why was it then that when you and I did speak, after that message was sent, the first question out of your mouth is, "Hey man, how come you didn't respond to my text message?" I found that to be very unique, but I did not need an explanation on how to speak to women or how to listen to women. That was not what that situation was about. My mother showed me how conceited she is in that situation that you were referring to. For a woman to villainize the actions of her son for being a man and a father to his new family simply because she had not heard from him in 2 days, as though her phone was broken and she could not check on me. Because last time I checked, I was a new parent. I didn't get a new house. I didn't go on vacation. I didn't just get a new game system. I had a baby. And in those 2 days that you did not hear from me, I was handling my business as a man and a father. But I'll assume your phone and the phones of those around you were all broken, which I wanted to believe was the reason why you did not respond to a message from your son expressing his concern over some bumps that your grandchild had on her back. You would later make it your business to tell me that you got the message and chose not to respond because her other grandmother is a nurse. Damn the fact that she is also your blood. And shout out to Nana. My baby girl loves her some Nana. The statement about money and then stating, "Don't let nobody introduce me to you," is not a competent statement to make because it wasn't a complete sentence, nor did the two things correlate with each other. And when did you have the time to introduce yourself to a son that you weren't interested in and didn't do the best job you could do? I'm starting to think that you're not hearing yourself. To address money, you gave me $10,000 for a down payment on a car. Yes, thank you again. Thank you. My girlfriend and I were already prepared to put our money together and get a car. You and your husband called us one day and stated that y'all were going to give us $5,000 for a down payment. We said, okay. You then called us back a day or two later and stated that you would be giving us $10,000 for a down payment on the car. You and him made the conscious choice to give us that money. We did not ask you for anything, but this is an example of a rich person doing something for you. And because an example of a rich person doing something for you because they want to do it for you, but because it doesn't have the desired effect that they want it to have, you are inconsiderate and ungrateful. But let's take it a step further. I eventually would uncover that my mother had left me a UTMA worth $45,000. You never brought that account to my attention. You claim it was because you forgot that you even set it up in the first place, which validates my original point. Who forgets that they invested $45,000 into a child that at that time is the only child? When I was homeless and I called you to help me figure out how to access the account, you
Pause. And you guys, I have to pause it because I'm mesmerized by this read. I mean, first of all, he's very well spoken, very intelligent. He wrote that down and read her for filth. But I find it interesting that Monique's oldest child, was homeless at one point. He just said when he was homeless. And you may not be wealthy, but you definitely was bringing in money, more money than typically your average. But let me continue.
said, "Shalon, I don't even know what you're talking about. And if I did, why do you think I would help you?" After finding out from the Georgia Department of Revenue that they had been sending me mail to 3 separate Georgia addresses, all of which I lived at with you at some point or another. For the life of me, I can't grasp how those letters managed to slip by so many people at 3 different locations. I did, however, eventually get access to the money and the brokerage account that you had set up for me with Morgan Stanley. To be fair, what you put together for me was amazing, especially had I let it sit for a year or two, which made it bittersweet that you wouldn't have wanted to help or even educate me on how to manage what I had. My blowing through that money is all on me, and I have to take my accountability for that, and it's a lesson learned. Sidney stated that the last time that him and I spoke, I wanted to call him Dad. The actual truth is that I wanted to call him Pop. Calling you Uncle Sidney, but my mother calls you Daddy, and the boys call you Daddy. It was getting a little awkward. And yes, for a very short time, I did feel that way about you, but the more things change, the more they stay the same. Oh, Black Jesus.
So he pretty much, even after reading her for filth, says, look, I still wish you well on this tour. I wish you well, but at the same time, don't play with me. Don't play with me. And so what does Monique and Sydney do? What do? They try to give text messages to prove, and this is what she says. Hey, my sweet babies. Here are the receipts from a mother who allegedly does not love her son. We are sharing this with you, Shalon, and the community. Some will completely get it, others won't. We love us for real. Typically, anyone who has to try to give receipts that they're a good mother, I would have to say, typically, in my opinion, is not a good mother. It just, especially with text messages that are from, as you see here, these text messages are from December 5th, 2020. Typical conversations back and forth. So you have, hey, baby, just checking on you. Hey, baby, just checking on you. Hey, man, good morning. Hey, baby, did you mean to send this to me? LOL, man. Hey, ma, good morning. My phone autocorrect, ma, and put man. And so with that, the problem is that, again, the classless, trifling BS when it comes to Monique and her daddy, there's stuff in here that we shouldn't even know about. So, of course, you see, hey, now I see you. Hey, baby, you good? I will call you tomorrow. I'm going to bed. Your mama's getting older. LOL, love y'all. Hey, sweetness, I'll hit you later. There's a lot of I hit you laters. I'll hit you laters. Hey, baby, I'm going to call you when I get back home. So it's a lot of I'm going to call you. And so we see February 18th of 2021. Hey, mommy, I wanted to send stuff. I guess trying to say stuff, to some flowers and stuff, just cause. Can you help me pick some stuff out? Because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm assuming he's talking about his girlfriend or whatever. Hey, baby, of course I will. Give me a couple hours to call. Wonder if she ever called. Hey, mom, have you ever heard of, and I guess it's hyperhidrosis? It's an excessive sweating disorder. Why the hell do we need to know that, whether it's him or someone else? Too much information, much? Hey, baby, no, I've never heard of it. I will research it. Now, here's the thing. To me, this is an example of him really trying to gain and connect with her, because we all have Google and we all have places that we could call to get that information if we really wanted it. He was trying to find a way, in my opinion, to connect with her, to let her know what is going on in his life, I am assuming. And he reached out to her to let her know, like, this is a way for you to know what's going on, and hey, my baby, sorry I missed your call. And so again, missing calls, talk tomorrow, call me when you go on break if you can. You know what I mean? It's this constant, I'll get back to you. Don't call me, I'll call you Hollywood bullshit. Then she shows this picture. Handsome, you look so handsome. Then it's like, hey, baby, how are you today? He's like, okay. I'm okay. Been overwhelmed these past couple of days, working through it by talking with Nicole. This hasn't been the best sales week so far, and I've been feeling more anxious about it than usual. Nicole has been helping me chill out, though sometimes she's the reason for the stress. Sounds like a typical conversation with a guy who, sales ain't hitting and he probably makes his money from sales and, he going through it with his girlfriend. Average stuff. Hey, my baby, let's talk when you get off. Can I call you in 30 minutes? Hey, my baby, can you give me an hour? That's cool. I really want to know if he, in these I'll call you backs, did she actually call him? And then it's, hey, my baby, you're up. And then so we're going back and forth with this. He's talking about his appointment at the DMV, saying he has 3, derogatory strikes on his credit. We don't need to know this. We don't need to know this. I know you will get it done. How are y'all doing? We're doing good. He's talking about cooking, talking about he spoke to some midwives, and it's just typical stuff back and forth. I don't know. Look, honestly, this could be a conversation between two friends. The fact that you want to show these to try to prove, you know what I'm saying, you're mothering, and this was literally like 3-4 years ago, just trifling as shit. Then we get to this. Okay, now you see how I feel when I get this technology shit super cheese. And then, hey, my sweetness, hope y'all have an amazing day. We are on our way to get some raw food, yummy. And so you can see him. Hey, mommy, are you awake? Hey, mommy, how are your eyes feeling? Hey, sweet baby, I haven't forgot. I'm just trying to get myself together. You haven't forgot what? To call him? To call him, maybe? Hey, sweet baby, I'll call you after you speak with. Everything is, I will call you. Can I call you in 30 minutes? Give me an hour. Sorry, I got to go to bed. I'm getting older. I'll call you this. I'll call you that. Come on now. But then here's the problem. We see all of these dates, right? Y'all see all of these dates? You had starting December 5th, I think, of 2020, February of 2021, October 2021. Then all of a sudden, you get this long ass text messages from daddy. There was no date on it. Okay? Remember today, and this is Uncle Sid. If you don't change your immature ways, you're going to lose, my man. We can't be mad at you, but we're definitely sad for you. How do you go from putting your mother on hold when generations of family are able to see Sinai and Nicole's side, but you gave no instructions to Tuffy or your mother as to when they would or could be able to see Sinai until after Tuffy brought this fact to your attention? Interestingly, you're a man now, but you were a little boy just days ago. You needed me to walk you through getting the car. Do you see this bitch shit? I don't like when people try to throw stuff up. That's, to me, not manhood. Why would you throw that up in his face? And then you did it, of course, when you guys had your IG live. The items for the baby you wouldn't even have if your mother Tuffy and I didn't care enough. So look, this whole thing here, to me, it's bitch ass behavior, because you're trying to throw stuff up in his face about the stuff that his mother paid for. Because I surely would like to know what type of money you get. Your money, Sid, sounds like it's money that you get from actually managing Monique. If it wasn't for Monique's talent, doesn't sound like you would have a damn job. And for someone who claims that Shalon has a mental illness or mental health issues, do you think this is a good response to someone who has a mental issue? You told us that he has a mental health issue. This is how you respond to someone who does? Because if he truly has mental health issues, in which he admitted, we don't know what it is, but even if he does, this is how you respond? Because if he has mental health issues, then you would know what's going on with him. You would know what was going on with him. So this is their response to what he said, because he read her down for filth and him, and he had every right to. Oh, but this isn't over. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't over. This is not over. Shalon decided to respond back, and here it is.
Hi, I'm Shalon. I'm gonna jump right into it. I guess the intelligent thing to do when assuming that your son is having a mental episode is to post personal screenshots of text messages that are 3 years old in an attempt to validate a false narrative as if they are some type of receipt. You also invaded the privacy of my daughter's grandparents by posting your receipts. Neither of you should never speak on mental health again if you thought that that idea was a good one. As a person who lives with mental health issues, let me be the first to educate you that there are individuals who have taken their lives, harmed, and also taken the lives of others for doing the very thing that you so proudly did, and your fan base pats you on the back for, which is very telling to how strangers will buy into your toxicity. Picking up the phone to check on your son that you believe is having a mental episode to make sure that he is okay, while also making sure that your granddaughter is safe, is too much to ask, I guess. For those wondering, I have gone to therapy on several different occasions, and that is not something that I will ever be ashamed of. I have even gone to therapy with my mother on several occasions. But for those who know how efficient therapy only works when both people are being open. My mother was still in her 15-year-old mentality phase during that time, so I guess I understand why she did not know how to be open with me during our sessions. When a person becomes accustomed to being a victim and others get used to seeing them as one, they live their lives in a state of internalization, meaning you consistently receive another's approach as an attack, constantly putting you under the illusion that you need to always be on the defense, even in situations where there is no actual attack, just an acknowledgement of things already said by you. One should not feel attacked by an acknowledgement of the words that they stand on. You eventually become a passive aggressor. To address the men that had something to say in regards to men don't do what I'm doing, let me be very clear. How I man is none of your business. What and how I feed my family has no place on your plate. For every person that stated I should not have come to the internet, I would just like to ask, what do Club Shay, the articles about my mother and I's relationship, the interviews about our relationship, and Instagram all have in common? Well, if you are competent, the internet. Furthermore, I did not expose my mother, nor did I badmouth my mother. I simply provided context to what was already being said about me, while also explaining why I don't speak to them directly. The reason those that feel negatively about what I said are just having a hard time differentiating between Nikki Parker and Monique. Please stop with the cornball idea that a celebrity can talk about a family member on the internet for years, but God forbid said family member says any one thing, and you all are outside with tiki torches and pitchforks defending not the actual person, but the idea of a person. These people are in an industry that is efficient at making money off of what is pretend. So in essence, you are defending a character. I love my mother, and it took the birth of my daughter to help me begin to understand the value of a mother. I am very proud of my mother, though, and I'm proud of the things that she has accomplished and will go on to accomplish in the future. My mother's bad, man. I watched that woman go from Baltimore to the moon. That drive is also in my daughter's blood. Not only is she still my mother, she's also a part of history, and I would be doing my daughter a disservice by not telling her about who my mother is and was. But since those messages that you posted were used as some type of a receipt to validate your false narrative, I figured I would take some time to gather up my receipts to validate my decision to move forward with my life without my mother in it. I do want to thank you all for listening for the now final time that I will ever address this topic, and I will leave you with my receipts.
So, with that being said, I'll show a little bit. Okay, because there's music playing. I don't necessarily know. It's instrumental, but fair use. It was just a clip. So with that, you see this baby. I wanted to just show y'all the baby. The baby is absolutely gorgeous. So the fact that Monique is not willing, based on Shalon is saying that she does not want to be a part of this child's life, Monique, in my opinion, got some serious issues. And so, how does Monique respond to all of this? Okay. How does she respond to this? This heifer do cardio. She does cardio. That is what she does. That is her response in this situation, is doing cardio. Her response is her normal, hey, my sweet babies, I'm coming to a city near you. I'm ready for you. That's her response. That's pretty much what she does in her response. I shit you not. And I can't play it because she's playing like music, like with lyrics and everything. And I don't own even that instrumental that played for like 2 seconds. But yeah, this is what she's doing. This is what she's doing. She's literally pretty much saying, I can't wait to come on the tour with Cat Williams. That's her response. Staying strong. Now that ain't some shit. I don't know what is. So with that being said, what are my final thoughts on this? And my title in the beginning, it says Monique is getting what she deserves? Question mark. All right. And this is why I say, because we all know there are some evil people in this world who seem to get away with everything, right? They seem to get away with everything. But then you have some people, God has a way, karma has a way, and I'm just going to say God has a way of humbling them quicker than others. All right. And what I say on this is Monique, based on what Monique pretty much neglected that child trying to reach her level of success. She reaches a certain level of success and then it's taken away from her. Y'all think that may be her karma for when it comes to her son? That maybe, just maybe, until you truly get right and you truly do the right thing in your own backyard, in your own personal life, you probably will never be able to get to the heights that you were once at. Let's remember that Monique was literally a popular and successful actress who won an Oscar, who is now going back to her bread and butter that she did for 20 plus years doing stand-up comedy. Now, with that being said, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, she's not Cat Williams level. Cat Williams is making 8 figures when it comes to his stand-up comedy. But for the most part, like even Cat Williams, I believe, said in his Club Shay interview, is that realistically a lot of people come out here who are into comedy. They want to get into the movie and the TV world. They want that stardom. They want to be able to get into that because ultimately that does potentially make you more money and gives you a nice little retirement plan. You go from getting the Oscar to this. And again, I'm not saying that Oprah and Tyler Perry didn't do her wrong, but I find it interesting that you went from an Oscar to now you are opening up on a Cat Williams tour, which I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you also are Monique with an Oscar. All right. And furthermore, the things that he said, it damn near sounds like almost the things that were somewhat identical to what she accused Oprah and Tyler Perry of doing. Not being accountable, being, narcissistic and full of themselves, being conceited. These are all the things that you allegedly was talking about when it comes to Oprah and Tyler. So is the issue that you just are mad because they did it to you? It makes you wonder if they never did this, that she claims they never did this to her, would Monique really be fighting? And is she really fighting for other women? sometimes people like to claim that they're fighting for the community when sometimes they're really fighting for themselves, but they want to make it seem like they're fighting for the community. I would literally like to know how many Black women is Monique really supporting in their struggles right now. I would like to know, because she keeps saying is she loves us for real, and she's doing this for the community. Well, are there some people that you're helping right now in the community that's struggling worse than you? Because let's be clear, there are some up and coming Black female comedians, that are under her. Like, are you there to help them? Like, what are you doing for people? Or are you just constantly saying you're doing it for us when it's really all about you? Maybe that's it. And so it makes me really wonder now, not saying that they didn't do her wrong, but it's just maybe, as good old Miss Seeley said, until you do right by me, everything you think about is going to crumble. So maybe, Monique, until you do right by Shalon, everything you may think about and what you want is going to crumble. Maybe that's the case. Because what I do know is that when that boy spit fire, and he's not a boy, he's a man. When that brother spit fire, he left no crumbs. And it definitely came off like there was no lies told. That man was true in his statements and what he said. And what honestly, I guess when you really think about it, ain't really nothing else to say. When he read her down. And to me, that's going to be the biggest read that anyone can give Monique, because this is coming from your own flesh and blood. Own flesh and blood. What did y'all think about Monique playing Goldie on BMF? See, here's the thing. I don't deny Monique's talent. She can act. She can act her ass off. You know what I mean? But it's like, and to a certain extent in the industry, you do have to play some politics. No one's telling you you need to sell your soul like some people have, but there is politics involved. But there's politics involved in every industry that you're in. There's politics on YouTube. There's politics everywhere that you are. I feel like at the end of the day, Monique is not holding herself accountable for a lot of things. Number one, let's start off with the fact that her contract should have been better. She can say all day long that pressure situation wasn't about the money. It was about the story. And she really wanted to play this, part or whatever, because she knows that woman. You can't tell me that she possibly, in my opinion, is beating herself up right now or kicking herself for she not having a tighter contract and not just getting that $50, but maybe even at $50,000, but maybe even asking for at least 1% of ownership on that film. She has to be. She has to be kicking herself. And again, even D.L. Hughley mentioned it, that maybe her attorney is questionable. Because to me, how do you do an independent film like that and they can only offer you $50,000 and you don't try to negotiate any type of point system or ownership on it? So I think she really doesn't want to take, I haven't heard her say yet, I should have had a better contract. I should have had a better contract. While it wasn't about the money, I didn't know it was going to blow up, but I should have had a better contract, because truly without her character, there was no movie. She really is the one who made that film what it was. You know what I mean? But she doesn't take accountability for anything that she could have done better in the situation. Nothing. She takes no responsibility. So I find it interesting that she don't take responsibility, but she wants Oprah and Tyler Perry to take responsibility. And again, on a business side, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I'm damn sure y'all already know how I feel. I damn sure ain't saying Oprah and Tyler Perry are innocent, but I've said this before, even with the Taraji situation. If you keep saying yes to low ball deals, if you keep saying yes to low ball, low budget situations as a business person, why am I gonna give you what you're worth if I lowballed you and you accepted after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 deals? Now on the 11th deal, you're like, pay me what I'm worth. Why would I do that when you've accepted all of those offers before? Just on a business standpoint. You said yes all of this time, and now I'm supposed to pay you more. Now, if the person is ethical, they will. But who the hell said people in this business is ethical? That's why you got to have your contracts tight and do what the hell you're supposed to do. And I don't hear her saying, I have gotten stronger when it comes to my business savvy, and now I am an entrepreneur and I'm making my own way. I don't hear her saying that. I hear her still saying, give me my apology so now I can be your employee again. That's what I'm hearing. That's what the hell I'm hearing. Like, seriously, at this point, Monique should be having independent stuff. She should be having her own, well, I was gonna say she should be having her own independent, like, stand-up comedy specials, but y'all say that the she ain't been good apparently with stand-up comedy. But there's so many things that she could have been doing all of these years instead of just complaining. That's why I said, where are we gonna go with this? You're never gonna get an apology from them. You dealing with two alleged billionaires whose money has still continued to go and careers have still continue to go, even with you talking mess. Now you getting exposed by your own child. If that ain't karma, hell, I don't know what is. From a person who cut off siblings from being toxic, Monique can't be mad if Shalon does the same. Exactly. Girl, I done cut family members. And if I can be honest, if y'all want a personal life story, what Shalon is talking about, that's what one of my grandmothers was or is, because this grandmother is still alive. My mother broke the cycle because my mother's mother, my grandmother, was that toxic mother to my mom. She wasn't there for her. So my mother, thank God, broke the cycle. But because of my mother breaking the cycle, that grandmother, that bitter, jealous spirit, she still has it still to this day, and it has trickled down to other people in the family. So trust and believe, there are some people where it's like, I forgive you, but I don't want anything to do with you. Because like I said, forgiveness and redemption are two totally different things. But the reality is that Monique does come off like she's full of herself. She does. You know, she does. It's like, while you're talking about how they did you wrong, talk to these women out here, these Black women, Black sisters and brothers out here, and tell them the do's and don'ts of the business. Make sure your contracts are tight. Make sure, you know what I'm saying, you interview your attorney and what other contracts, bigger contracts have they done. Like, make sure that, you know, you have a point system. Even with the independent work that you do, get ownership in it as much as you can. Have you heard her say any of that? No, she keep talking about the same stuff for the past couple of years. So who are you necessarily helping by keeping up this campaign that is still all about you? Monique has beef with Tiffany Haddish. Yeah, because she sat up there and said, I don't have that husband of hers. All because of that. He said, victim number one. Exactly. I was laughing too when he was like, victim number one. Hey, Aspen. And I'm sorry. I think, did I say hi to everyone? If I missed you, my apologies, you guys. When I be talking, and then of course all of the videos, my apologies. Hello, you guys. And make sure you hit the like button. Facts, we all have to compromise on things to be successful. Exactly. It's politics in everything that we do. Everything that we do, there's politics. Art imitating life. And you got that right. Dang, I missed it. Called myself taking a nap earlier. That's what the replay gang is for. Yes, I did too when he said that, Nene. Yeah, he's like, victim number one. Hey, Aspen, sometimes you need a good nap. And Mariah, where Mariah went to? Oh, you got to speak to someone if you want your check Wait, you got to speak to someone if you want your check, sweetly. Mariah did that. Oh, check, sweetie. You talking about Mariah from Married to Medicine, right? Child, for all the talk Monique has been talking, she could have began a patrol YouTube and began a channel, but no, she keep. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. She go on free IG to talk a mess. I don't know if she got a channel. She has not done anything to attempt to make a buck out of all of her complaining, besides the fact that she is going. To me, it's kind of like she's a one-trick pony. And it's like, it's like, I'm gonna keep saying something until you give me my jobs back instead of creating her own jobs. It doesn't make any sense. She tried to do that movie. Was it Blackbird or something like that? That movie, in my opinion, was garbage. But she tried to do it with Isaiah Washington. She did that, but I don't think it got rave reviews. And she was still too busy talking about all the stuff with Oprah and Tyler, and then would mention that in passing. But it's like, why aren't you taking some of your money to do more independent projects? Do more in she will let me tell you something. We can talk about Tubi all day long, but Tubi is like the YouTube for independent filmmakers. And I think the way it works, the way their system works, don't quote me, but the way the system works is the more people who watch it, the more money you make, kind of like how YouTube works. Why in the hell hasn't she done independent stuff and put that on Tubi, and with her 1 point something million followers told people to watch it, and she probably could be she can have multiple streams of income? This is what I'm saying. But you want to keep complaining and complaining, and then you now have a son who pretty much is saying and coming off like you ain't shit. I don't like Omarosa, but she taught me that always deny the first offer before someone tries. Exactly. Monique is self-righteous and she becomes pro-black when it's self-serving. Yeah, like a lot of these damn celebrities. A lot of these celebrities ain't pro-black. Pro-black sales. Pro-black is marketing. Pro-black automatically get sheep-like people to buy your stuff, when you really need to look at the actions of that person versus them just throwing up a fist and you automatically think they pro-black. But that's my opinion. Hey, Shayla. And let's be clear, if Oprah decided to entertain Monique with an apology, she would jump at the opportunity to work. She would. That's what I'm saying. She pretty much saying, I want an apology, I want my money, and I want to be an employee again. That's the way it's coming off. That's the way it's coming off. And there's too many younger, hungry people who will probably be willing to work with Monique and say, look, we got the camera equipment. I'm a director. He's a cinematographer. She's a writer. Let's do this. And they would just want to be able to work with Monique just because she has the following. But no, she's just doing her tours and doing comedy. And comedy, while it pays, at a certain point, when you get a certain age, it does take a toll on your body doing all of that touring and stuff. So at a certain point, you would prefer to actually be able to do other things and be able to sit and let your money work for you. You want to be able to sleep and be able to have money coming in while you sleep. At least that's what I want. Hell. Mariah and Precious. Oh, okay. Talking about Mariah Carey. Oh, yeah, was good and Precious too. Yeah, she even had a mustache. I said, talk about commitment. She got a whole damn mustache in that damn movie. Mariah was good and Precious. All of them was good. They were all good. Mariah looks so bad, but was good in that role. Long way from glitter. Absolutely. She definitely, she was like, I'm about to show y'all everything. But yeah, with that being said, you guys, that's what I said. Is this what she deserves? Is this what she deserves? Like, you can't keep sweeping your own shit under the rug and try to point at everyone else and think that the dirt under your rug is not going to eventually seep out. It's not going to eventually come out. And to me, that's what the situation is. You literally have been campaigning against Tyler and Oprah for years and Lee Daniel for years, just to find out that you have a child that's hurting, that feels neglected by his own mother. When I tell you that is some shitty ass shit, I don't know what is. I just like that. Seriously, she became a true warrior. I also just thought about something. Monique claims she missed out millions because of what Tyler Perry said, but if she had proof she was offered jobs or actually being considered for roles, a lot of that stuff is word of mouth and what people say they want you for. But again, in this in the business of Hollywood or in any business, if you don't have a contract, you don't have shit. So she could say that Lee Daniels offered her certain roles and what roles were for her, but unless she had a contract, and that's another thing too, why didn't she sue him? Because she don't technically have proof that Tyler said it. She only has word of mouth of what he said. She does have she has that audio. I don't necessarily know though if he said verbatim, I cost you money. I think that he said, I did say that you were difficult. I don't know if that's grounds for actually being able to sue though. And I don't know if she really would want to try to sue a billionaire. I don't know if she would be able to win in that situation. That's actually a good topic to discuss with an attorney because I don't necessarily know. I can't remember verbatim everything he said in that audio, but I think he did kind of admit that he said that she was difficult. But unless he actually said don't hire her, I don't know if she could actually sue him. She became a true warrior for that role. Hollywood is superficial. They aren't that many roles for Black women, especially bigger Black women. Correct. So then create your own. Especially when I can see when you're up and coming and new and you need the revenue and you need the popularity to be able to build your own. Monique and Taraji both have been in the game long enough where they have been able to gain revenue and their own fan base. Like the fact that you got over 1 million on IG, you could have made a YouTube page and got over 1 million on your YouTube page and made you some money. You could have, again, created your own stuff, put it on Tubi and made you some money. Sometimes, even in a blackball situation that she allegedly says, sometimes you have to do your things independent and do things that you want to do so then that Hollywood comes to you. Like Issa Rae and other people that did their own thing and then Hollywood came knocking on their door. But again, like I've told you guys before, some people don't want to be entrepreneurs. Like to start your own can be scary. It takes a lot of more work and dedication versus being an employee and just getting your weekly or bi-weekly check. And I think what we're seeing is that Monique is pretty much saying, I just want you to pay me and I can get my bi-weekly or weekly checks. She is not willing to step out and do things on her own, but she takes all the time in the world to do these damn IG videos. All of that time you doing, having those videos where half of the time, I'm sorry, not half of the time, most of the time you're not saying anything anyways, and you got your daddy talking. You don't have anything else productive that you can do to gain some more revenue, to get multiple streams of income coming in? Because I don't ever hear her promoting anything but comedy shows. This ain't it. You know what I mean? Like she really is not mastering the social media world. She's not mastering all the ways that you can literally be able to make your own coin. And so at that point, that's why I said, this could be her karma. This could be her karma. And literally, you know what I'm saying? If I had enough time, I would have put Shalon's freaking face where Whoopi's face is. And pretty much that's to me what it's given. You didn't do right by me, so your world came crashing down. And maybe God, she likes to say the universe, but God is probably humbling you, saying you need to get your life in order first, and you need to get right with your son and your family and heal and things like that before you even think about trying to get back into this industry. As much as her and her daddy talk, they could have started a podcast. Exactly. So it's really like, what is all of this for? What is this for? And when are you going to maybe do a podcast about the do's and don'ts in the industry? Do something to help people so they don't make the same mistakes. All you doing is bitching about the same stuff. And you not teaching your sweet babies how to avoid certain things. Where's that podcast at? Where's that live at? Because it doesn't sound like it's about the community, Monique. It sounds like it's about you. And that's what pretty much your son is saying. You're conceited. You're narcissistic. It's about you. So as far as I see it, I used to respect this woman 10 toes down. Used to respect her. But I'm done. I'm done. Because when I really thought about it and took it back to her charm school days and things that she's saying and doing, and there's still no growth, and I still don't see her maybe even developing a nonprofit to teach people the do's and don'ts and things to look out for, it at this point, look, it don't seem like it's about anyone but yourself. So my sweet babies, you can kiss my sweet ass. How about that? I'm tired of y'all typecast roles. Do something different. For instance, I can't unsee Tyler Perry's Medea. I can't take him seriously. Yeah. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, that's another thing, child. That's actually another topic about typecasting in Hollywood. That's a whole nother topic. But I don't think Monique minds being typecast as long as she get a check. As long as she get her check. You know what I mean? Now she'll mention other people, in my opinion, to benefit her cause. But what is she doing to prevent younger people who's coming up in the industry? What is she doing to prevent them from making some of the same mistakes that she made? You too, Taraji, both of y'all. What are y'all doing to make sure, besides y'all complaining about the industry, create something that's going to empower these people so they can say, you know what? I need to get an attorney on this. Or you know what? I need to make sure, you know what I'm saying, that I interview my manager or my attorney before I make them my manager or my attorney. How about you do something like that? Then I'll really see if you're about the community. So on that note, you guys, thank you so much for watching the WTF Weekly. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope we're done with this whole Monique and Sydney and Shalon back and forth situation. Shalon seems to be done with it. I hope he is, and he does truly move on with his life to take care of his beautiful baby. She's gorgeous. I wish I would have showed you more pictures, but again, I don't know if the instrumental does anything. But with that being said, you guys, we will get back to our weekend lives. I already posted on the community wall, so definitely check that out. Let me see. Has she realized she has been taken advantage of since the Parker's child? Because she ain't getting no royalty. Exactly. And why isn't she teaching people what to look out for and what to avoid? Who y'all think is going to be next? Child, who knows? And that's another thing too. Even with the Monique never checked Cat Williams for what Cat Williams said about how she needs to stop taking personal and just step her game up as far as ticket sales. I also noticed, going back to Shannon Sharp, no one's really coming at Cat for coming at Shannon, because no one wants to come at Cat. And I would even say Monique don't want to come at Cat, because Cat will literally take you to the upper room and literally like he will destroy you. So, but I find it interesting that she's literally going on tour with him, and he kind of called her out on it, that she needs to stop taking stuff personal and just step her game up as far as her ticket sales are concerned. She ain't never mentioned that. Yes, please like the video before you go out, and for the replay gang, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Say, come on in. To love y'all for real, my sweet babies. For real, I am so tired of that, my sweet babies. Like, seriously, Yes, seriously. Monique is now on Cat's tour. Exactly. She is not headlining the tour. He's the headliner. She's opening up the tour. I want to say Kevin Hart's wife, and then it's Monique, and then it's Cat. Mind you, this is Monique who's been in the game, did the Queens of Comedy, has an Oscar, even though she has an Oscar for a drama. It's amazing that she's not headlining her own like 100 city tour. Like how she has fallen, I just can't say it's because of Oprah and Tyler Perry at this point. I just can't. So on that note, you guys, love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.